Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro. I came in, bro, and he was nice enough to make a playlist, bro. Some of my videos, man. It's like one of the sweetest things I've ever seen, bro.
Well, we're just upgrading. We're upgrading.
Yeah, brother. Major upgrades, man. I've seen you guys do a lot of improvements here at the show, and once again, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be a part of this. You know.
Yeah, dude. Lots of upgrades. Lots of we're learning as we go too, which is cool. And we're just adding our own flavor to it, as
bro.
Vante NYC would say. So
I can feel the flavor, bro. It feels good.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's good to be back, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks, dude. It's been a little bit.
It's been a couple months, bro. Been a bunch of.
I think it's been more than a couple months. It's been
maybe a year. When was the last round table, man? Whenever that shit was. As far as the last time.
I would say November, last spring. I can just look it up.
Oh man, yeah, dude. So I've been seeing Bentley. Me and him working on some fun ass projects lately.
Yeah, what have you guys been up to?
So I was lucky enough to get the chance to shoot a like a TEDx recently, like a TEDx talk.
Oh,
and
what?
No, I'm not the speaker. I was filming it.
I was like,
and
what?
and so like I got the chance to grab a bunch of my buddies, get together and film this this guy about sustainability and how it relates to like to the music industry. And he talked about for 15 minutes, quick little shoot. But yeah, me and Ben got to run all the audio for it. Did a fucking awesome job. If you guys need any audio, any visuals, hippie sauce, hit him up. Branch Out Visuals, you know who it is. Yeah, man. So we've been doing a bunch of fun stuff. Another exciting thing that I'm actually really looking forward to talk about is this documentary that I've been working on.
Oh, dope.
So this is like 3 fucking years in the making. 3 years. So is it cool if I can curse and say whatever I want?
Is that usually how long it takes documentaries to be made?
Oh, hell no. And thank God it doesn't take that long, Because none of us would have fucking content. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro. So it's actually some of the people who've been on the screen. This couple, Renato and Raquel Canuto. They're these like terrifying fucking superhuman athletes. They're like vegan. They're the sweetest people on earth, but they go out there and they beat the shit out of people. So like, yeah, Raquel just had a fight the other night. She submitted her opponent 30 seconds in UFC Fight Pass with the Chael Sonnen's organization.
Okay.
30 seconds, guillotine, right away. Just it was disgusting, bro. It was
how
so
fast?
savage. Less than 30 seconds. I think it was like 22 seconds. Yeah, Raquel goes, she like posted about it too. She was like, yeah, I knew she was gonna shoot. And I knew I was going to guillotine her. And that's exactly
crazy.
what happened.
That's
and
like Gordon Ryan coming up and just being like, open this up after the match.
Yeah. Bro, that's some real Joker shit, bro.
Dude,
Jiu-Jitsu's been getting weird, man.
Good.
Jiu-Jitsu's been getting weird, bro.
Well, good, because it's going to put it on the map.
Yeah.
And make it more popular to the public. So
oh, my God, man. Yeah.
Which it's gonna get I mean, the UFC is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
But I think within its own right, jiu-jitsu will be its own, hopefully a bigger thing, even though I think Gordon Ryan said he doesn't think so, but I think so. I think grappling will be at a point a very big popular sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is, but I mean like more mainstream.
I think it's always going to be like a little niche, the same way that UFC is always going to be a little niche. Like everyone's going to know who McGregor is, but you're never going to know who like Charles Oliveira is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like
unless you're in the sport.
Unless you're in the sport.
Yeah.
It's like it's all, like the most of this shit's always going to be niche. Like everyone tunes in for like the big fights, Dustin Poirier for like McGregor fights, some shit like that. But no one tunes in for like the Vegas fights, which happen every week. You know what I mean? Those are always like diehard fans. People who pay fucking $70 for pay-per-view is a diehard fan.
Gotcha.
Jiu-Jitsu, I don't think anyone's ever really going to pay more than like $30 for a pay-per-view jiu-jitsu event, But I do think at $30 or less, you'll get a lot of eyes. Like ADCC has hundreds of thousands of eyes, if not millions and millions. So like I think there's still a lot of room to grow, but like we'll see what happens in the next ADCCs. I think it's 2022. But they're doubling the capacity of everything. So last year they had like 6,000 people. They gave out hundreds of thousands of dollars of prizes. And they had like mad celebrities. Like it was crazy how many like famous people showed up and came to like watch regular guys do jiu-jitsu, like not regular, super athletes do jiu-jitsu. And so this year they're doubling everything. Like it's gonna be like
dope.
Yeah, like a $700,000 or something crazy production budget. So it's gonna be like a big show. Lit. And that's gonna kind of set the precedent of like, how big can these events get? How big can these shows get? How much money can they make? Because, you know, UFC can make millions of dollars at the gate. They can make millions of dollars at pay-per-view. They can sell merch and make millions of dollars. Jiu-jitsu, you can make that in like one way, which is instructionals. Like Gordon said it himself on the Joe Rogan podcast. He makes millions of dollars on his instructionals. He's even posted that shit on his Instagram. He'll post his shit and be like, yo, I made $2 million off this one instructional, you know?
Yeah.
You don't get that from competing. Like the biggest prize you'll get at any tournament, and it's ADCC, happens once every 2 years, is $40,000.
That's crazy. Is that just because it's still just such a small?
Yeah, it's because there's not mass funding for it yet, because you know people who are in the sport, you can't advertise like Gatorade to jiu-jitsu fight. You know, like it's hard. It's not the same. Like the advertisers who are picking up a Kasai event or a Third Coast grappling event are like, you know, also small companies, are merch companies, are gi companies, mat companies. They're all niche companies. So, you know, there's no like big brands coming in and saying, hey, Kasai, you guys do cool events. We're gonna put it on with Red Bull.
Gotcha.
We're gonna deck it out, and you guys just continue to fight. You know.
What about if it gets to a point where it gets bigger though? Then
yeah, I think it's Like I look at Venom. Well, you know. So
okay.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I look at Venom. So Venom's a company that like I've actually been doing. They're a big focal point of the documentary that I've been working on, and they're the guys who sponsor and co-own a gym with the Canutos. So the couple I mentioned before. So Venom, bro, started out 3 years ago. They were like still a really well-known martial arts and fitness wear brand, but they're like kind of in the middle of a bunch of stuff. Over the past 3 years, they've gotten into. They're the first brand ever accepted into Walmart as like an MMA supplier. So they have like boxing gloves, pads, shit like that in Walmart, Target, big stores, which is a big step for the sport in general. And they took over the Reebok contract. So every fighter now wears Venom in UFC.
Sick.
They have the exclusive contract. So and thank God, bro. Like coincidentally, this happened over the time that I started working with the Canutos and to now when we finished the documentary. So like it just so happens that like they were already working in a Venom gym as sponsored athletes running the academy back then, but like Venom wasn't as big as it is now. It was a huge company, but now they're like me and my buddy Jonas always talk about A, B, C level companies. Like we break shit up like that, and it's like they're becoming like an A level, you know, like they're like a Reebok, like a Nike, like they're a company that stands alone outside of their niche sport. You know, like you can have you have Nike represented in all different types of athletics and lifestyle wear,
but they're specifically just in grappling and just UFC.
So now it's like Reebok.
MMA.
You know, Reebok kind of did that where they expanded outside. So like people wear Reebok to hang out. People wear Reebok to fucking go work out. People wear Reebok to do whatever.
Gotcha.
Venom is on that same path.
And all that other stuff.
100%,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So now Venom's in mainstream as far as like mainstream sports, being in the UFC. You know, having all these athletes now wearing their clothes on and off the mats, whatever. And so they're just kind of expanding, and part of that too is expanding into jiu-jitsu. So they're going to be a big decider as like how far can this sport go? Is when companies
as in like investor wise.
Fuck yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like
so they're bringing more attention to
the sport,
to jiu-jitsu by being like, hey, we're going to support this group of
and like bro, they're
or this style of MMA specifically jiu-jitsu. Or grappling.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's what it is, right?
Jiu-jitsu grappling. It's like, you know, I'd say grappling is a good word for it, you know?
Gotcha. So you guys could potentially have a lot of more money flowing into
the sport.
Into competitions per se, so that you can make more money.
Which would be
$40,000 is not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money, bro. To train for your whole life. Yeah. You know?
That's crazy.
Like it's just not that much.
And what's sorry, not to cut you off, but what's even more interesting is that like I guess back in the day before competitions were even big, I guess you were more just into it just to like for the love of it, for the passion. Like I'm thinking of like the Gracies and stuff. Yeah. Like
they did it because they loved it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like there wasn't like they made the competitions, you know, like so.
Yep. They weren't getting paid $40,000 back then.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I was like, they were not getting paid for that,
like,
but they were still going out there and kicking ass.
Yeah, bro, you have to pay. Crazy. Like most people don't understand, you have to pay to enter the majority of jiu-jitsu competitions. Any IBJJF tournament, you have to pay to enter, and it's a small fee, whatever, and you don't really win a lot of money, you know. But there's very few like publicly invited tournaments where anyone can go and compete without being invited only, you know. ADCC invite only or trials win. Something like a Kasai invite only or trials win. Most of these events that are like broadcasted and monetized, I should say, are invite only or invitation, like you have to
Very
win a
interesting.
thing to get into it. You know.
I guess that kind of makes it good though. I mean,
Yeah.
in a way, because I guess it's like if you get invited, it means okay, like this competition's like the elite. You know,
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
gonna
they're
get
the
paid
best
if
of
you're
the best.
invited.
Yeah,
You should, at least you should, you know, at the
Yeah.
very least. Like for Kasai, you'd win if you won the whole tournament. It was like 8-man round robin brackets, so 4 on each side, 3 matches. Whoever has the most points fights each other wins.
Okay,
Easy.
okay.
It took me like 2 events to figure out how the fucking match worked. You know? But
You just do a good job explaining. So.
yeah, thank you, bro. Anyway, so yeah, you would win 10K, but you have to beat 4 people that night, and you have to beat 4 people who are invited there because they pose a threat to winning that money. You know, like
Dang.
you have to beat a lot of competition to win that 10K. You know, and then like if you don't win that 10K, you either go home with nothing, or if you get second or third place, I think you made like 2,500 or something like that. You know, but like,
Yeah.
and obviously your expenses get paid, and maybe you get like
Yeah.
a small rate regardless. But like for the most part, if you're going to compete for like a 10K, 12, 20K tournament, it's 1 out of 8, 1 out of 16 shot, and like you don't win that every time. And like let's say you do win it twice, you know, that it just doesn't. It's just not. It's just not a lot of money. You know? It's tough. And like the issue with most of these companies that they don't understand, like Flow Grappling or which I don't like Flow Grappling, but I'm not gonna give them a lot of airtime today. So what these fucking companies don't understand is that people are not gonna pay $30 a month to see this shit. People don't want to spend that extra money to watch people grapple when you can go on Instagram and see the result right away. It's just not how it is. But if this shit is free to watch, so many more people will watch it. So many more people will want to advertise on these sites, on these platforms, and more people will look at the sport. But there's like 2 companies in particular that hold a monopoly on the majority of the jiu-jitsu events, Flow Grappling and UFC Fight Pass. And they're both paid shit. So like, you know, like I fucking have to pay for both of them because I feel bad if I don't. I can't be buddies with like, you know, my guys Nikki and Renato and Raquel. I can't not see them fight. You know, I got to support them. But like for the most people who just want to like the sport and get into the sport, you're not going to pay $30 to watch something that you're not that interested in yet. You know, you need to see it for free first and to get hooked to even think that you're going to see it down the line. Like if someone who's never seen UFC, right? If you were like, yo, I'm going to show you this new sport, but you have to pay me $70. You'd be like,
yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm not
There's
doing
no
that.
way.
You know, there's just no way.
Yeah,
you know, I don't care.
I'm not
you
doing
know,
that.
yeah,
No.
people do shit already all day long. They don't need another sport. They don't need another entertainment. So it can't really be charged for unless it's really in demand. You know, but these companies don't get it. They're just like, well, we have a small group of people who are like fully adults, who do the sport as a hobby and don't have that much going on and want to pay extra money to do this and want to buy instructionals. And we're just going to take that one little niche market and only give them the content because they're paying us $30 a month for it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, hey, we can broadcast this to everybody, keep this online forever, and like,
well,
keep, you know.
Well, hopefully, what you were saying that if bigger investors come in and do that, hopefully they won't have to be like, hey, pay $30. Like, actually, we're making money through all these other investors. So
Literally.
now here's it free to watch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think I've never paid to. I go on YouTube or
Fuck yeah.
I go on Instagram, like what you were just saying. I was like, and I just
one
watch
thing,
shit that way.
See,
I'm
the
like,
one thing I
alright.
won't do, bro, I will never illegally stream the fights because that's against the law. So you don't do it. You know, it's not worth it. Yep. Yeah. But you know, hit me up if you do need the link for it. Just text me. I got you. Yeah. But so like, anyways, so the goal with the documentary is like to take this story of like these 2 people who are like, I watch a lot of jiu-jitsu docs, a lot of sports docs, and most of the stuff out there for jiu-jitsu, it's just a dude following people around with their camera, and they're like it's the Flow Grappling. Last time I'm going to say their name, right? But it's Flow Grappling. They're fucking follow these guys around and just film their days and then put it together, and they're just like, this is the day. That's it. They just simply like present the information.
Is it more of like a vlog?
It's like a vlog, bro. It's like a 30-minute vlog, but just shot
okay.
on nice ass cameras and with like 3 camera guys, you know. But they don't dive like what we did with Renato and Raquel is like we like invested like a long time into their story and like finding out like exactly why they do what they do and like what motivates them and you see them on 2 sides. You see them like literally like fighting as like their heart out on one side, and the other side you see them like picking up their dogs and you know like telling us how they first met and like getting proposed to each other. It's like it's only ever explored like when people are like fighting. It's like the dudes who fucking beat each other up, and you're like, oh, who's the toughest? And they want to see how tough they are. But it's never like, yo, these guys are athletes, but they're humans, they're teachers, they're like trying to be parents. Like there's so many other avenues.
So you try to capture a whole different aspect of the sport.
Yeah. 100%.
Bring a whole new
100%
different outlook on it.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
cool.
it's the Canutos were the only people who this made sense to really start this with, because like they're essentially both like community role models and like black belt world champions and pro fighters. You don't get both like most of the time, you know. And there's a lot of people out there who are interested in the sport, but the sport has such a connotation of like violence, and most of the time you see people getting hurt and fucked up, and you don't see like
that's what people want, bloodshed, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people do, you know. But at the same time, like I think of like TLC or like not TLC. What the fuck is those? Like Lifeline, those channels, whatever. Like
TLC.
TLC. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You see shit like that, right? Like
right TLC. Nah, you're not paying attention.
Anyways, bro, yeah, it's like those like Lifetime movies where like you actually like that. I mean, but that shit's fake, you know. Like we made that in real life. Like we really got to know them and like gave them the chance to tell us whatever they want, you know. And like I think that's the biggest difference, is like anyone who's like producing these jiu-jitsu documentaries at the moment are producing them with a narrative, and like with like Flow Grappling wants to sell fights. They want to sell these guys fighting. So they're going to put these guys out there when they're talking shit and when they're looking cool and when they're doing jiu-jitsu, but they're not going to put it out there when they're talking about their losses and their like trials and the shit that they had to like there's a particular point in the doc, man, where like Raquel is she's like completely crying about how long she's been, you know, chasing this dream of being a world champion, coming from like next to nothing in Hawaii with her family, like moving alone all the way over to Vegas, and just like training her, you know, every day, 6 hours a day, like away from all her family at like 19 years old, fighting Amanda Nunes, bro, at 21, you know, like she.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
That's scary.
It's terrifying, you know. And like Raquel was winning, dude. She was winning the fight, and then I think Amanda got the back, but Raquel was beating the fuck out of her, bro. And then it turned the other way, you know. But Raquel was so close to having a win over Amanda Nunes at like 21, you know. Like, but point is, bro, like she has been through so much in her life, and like I'm not trying to sell any narrative. I'm just trying to let her and Renato, you know, tell their full stories, not just like, yo, I'm here to promote X, Y, and Z fight. Catch me fighting on Flow Grappling tomorrow, 7 a.m., you know, whatever it is. Like that's all people get the chance to do in the sport. And like until the regular audiences, like the regular people outside of the sport, until they get a chance to see like, no, this sport is actually like regular ass people. Like these guys have lives outside of this. They have goals, ambitions. Like they're not just, we don't just see them fight and then that's it. You have to get like personally invested in the story, you know. And like I think that I hope that when people see this doc, you know, they get a little bit invested in Raquel and Renato, and therefore a little bit interested in jiu-jitsu, you know, because like the only thing that's like one of the only things that's apparent is like Hanel and Renato live this shit. Like they really live this shit, you know, and they're passionate about it, and it's kind of just contagious. So, anyways, shit I'm excited about. You know?
Well, who'd you make the documentary with?
So I made it myself, dude. So I have a co-producer and an assistant producer.
Oh, so you did this all?
I did it
yourself.
all myself, bro. I'm talking about like, bro, when I first bought my FS5, right? I bought my camera for the doc. Like I bought this like 3 years ago.
So now, did you discuss this with them, or was this something that you wanted to do yourself?
Oh, it was very much like we became buddies at one of these events that I used to work. I was trying to see if it was on the screen. One of these fight events, right? We just became friends, man. So, and like, you know, got some food one day, hung out the other day, and I was like, you know what? Like, I kind of want to start like a more substantive documentary. And I was starting to see all these like holes in the industry, like, oh, they're not talking about this, they're not talking about this, they're only doing these things. So I like over time was like, okay, I think this is gonna work. And like the friendlier I got with them, the more I was like inspired by their story, and the more I was like, wow, like, man, they can really, like, I've learned a lot from them. I bet people can learn a lot from them.
Yeah,
you know, their story is crazy.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so
Oh,
like,
dude, that's
yeah.
lit.
So I kind of just approached him one day. I remember calling Renato and being like, "Yo, I'm about to come to Vegas, and I'm thinking we just hang out for a week and shoot a bunch of content, and then we see where we go from there. I want to do like a doc." And then so after that first week, we were like, "Yo, this is amazing. We got to keep this going. We need more footage." So like I ended up going back and forth to Vegas specifically for the doc like 5 times over the past 3 years.
Okay.
And around like beginning 2020. I just got too busy to keep going back, and it wasn't like put on hold, but it was like, fuck, I can't finish this right now. I gotta pay bills. I gotta work. I gotta do other shit. I'm getting booked. I gotta do shit, you know? Like I just can't keep flying back and forth and spending all this money on this doc. And then it took like maybe, I don't know, took like halfway through COVID. I was like, you know what? Like, we got it. We just have to do it. And this is just, I don't care what it costs. We just got to do it. So I ended up hitting up our boy, Joffrey and then his buddy. Shout out. And our boy Raquel out there. And so I was like, you know what, bro, we're going to go out there. We're going to do this right. I was like, this is the time to like go balls to the wall. So I got my assistant producer. So my producer, Jonas Harmu, assistant producer, Ali Marshall Toto. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna get us an Airbnb car. Like, we're gonna just get a pool. We're gonna ball out for the week. We're gonna have some fun. Like, and then the same time we're gonna work like 16 hours a day, but we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So they were like, fuck,
we're gonna grind, but it'll be a vacation.
I'm like, basically,
time.
like, you guys both, like, coincidentally, they both just quit their jobs at the time. So they were like, yo, I'm not working right now. Let's just do it. You know? So we get out there. The trip ended up being like 3 weeks. You know, we go out there for like a week and a half. They convinced me to drive all the way back to New York from Vegas. So we like canceled all our flights, rented a different car, and drove back. And so that shit was great. But like, I came out of that project with the bounce video with Joffrey and an unreleased video with Raquel, which I'm fucking waiting on him to release, bro. It's been a long time, and it's got to come out. People need that shit. So
we're just letting it ferment.
Yeah. You know, people are still watching the segment he dropped of it, so we'll see, bro. Maybe he's waiting for that to die down. But and so we spent like, it was like literally 6 days in a row. Every day we were up. Everybody was up too, like at 6 a.m. and none of us were really going to sleep until midnight. You know, if not like later. And it was just like this beautiful fucking collab where like everybody just like got up and fucking worked and like all day long, you know? And it was just amazing, bro. I was super proud to see everyone just like, you know, see potential in these little projects and just work tirelessly to make it happen. Like, bro, we had like sunset or sunrise shoots in the morning, where we would drive an hour and a half into the fucking Mojave Desert before the sun even came out, scope shit out, like start shooting by like before the sun comes out, drive all the way back. Then me, Jonah, Ali would go to the Canuto's house, start filming with them for 6-7 hours, be done with that, go back to the Airbnb, film another scene for the music video with one of the guys, wake up the next morning, do the same thing sunrise, but for skate shooting. You know, like it was like this grueling it was like fucking. It was so hot. It sounds like so a grind. It was
sounds
like
grind, a lot of. It sounds like a long grind.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you got what you needed to get done.
It was so much fun, and like we fucking somehow we did it. You know, we did 2 music videos and a fucking end of a doc in literally like 5-6 days. You know, like it was great. It was great. But like I feel like I came out of that trip, and I was just like, damn. Like, it's fucking go time, you know? And like ever since I came back from that trip, I was like, okay, like I proved it again that I can do like a fucking 14-hour day. So I was like, I have to do that every day now. Yeah. I'm like, I gotta keep doing that now, you know? So it's like I've been just been working on like all different types of projects since then, like every fucking day, 12 to 14 hours a day, just like exhausted, but like
it's the grind, dude.
It's the grind, man. It's the grind.
You gotta do that. Yeah. And now also you do everything yourself, though.
Yeah, I do everything myself.
I mean, unless you got to hire people, obviously, to help you, then you do it. But
yeah, and I'm like,
that's how you make your money for a living.
100%. Yeah, but this is like I've been doing this, and I've been in this industry for about 5 years now, and I would say professionally for like more like 2 or 3. You know, since I like moved to the city and like really started being being an adult and not being in just a college student anymore. It was probably like 3 years ago when you actually start getting bills to pay and you're starting accumulating gear and shit like that. That's kind of like when it kind of all picked up. But yeah, but I mean, like I'm getting to a point now where like all I want to do is hire people out in the places that I'm not an expert,
Gotcha.
So like, for example, for the TEDx stuff, I knew Ben would do the audio better than I could. I knew for a fact, he's around audio every day.
Yeah.
Or like all the time.
True that. Shout out Ben.
Yeah.
What's up, Ben?
Yeah. So even though he's not even, I don't even think he's fucking monitoring us right now, bro. He looks like he's dozing off in the corner right now. But
that's how it's how he watches everything.
Yeah, he's in a heightened state. Can't even.
He's like, keep an eye on that. 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 And keep an eye on that. And I pointed to a lot of shit, everybody, and that.
Yeah.
And these other two lights over here.
Yeah.
Everything's like fucking. We're in like Tech Central over here.
Oh hell yeah, bro! It's fucking
monitors.
Great.
We got wires. I'm like.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It,
I gotta
love
fucking.
It.
Thanks.
I feel like there's like there's a lot of lights in here, but there's gotta be at least 10 lights in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
You don't have to count. Anyways, okay. Yeah, bro. So like, it's all about like for me right now. This doc really taught me like, no, you gotta hire other people to do some shit because like, it took me 3 years to do this. I could have done this in 6 months if I had a team.
Gotcha.
Of like. Because like Jonah and Allie, they don't edit. Like they're great at on-set stuff, and they're very good at like pre-planning stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like they're just not.
That's
like,
a whole other aspect of the job.
Yeah. Oh my God, you need people for all these aspects. So like I'm really fortunate. I found people who can help me out with those avenues. But like I'm always looking for like I gotta find new editors. I gotta find new I always gotta find new people. Like the goal is to find new people to hire so that like. We can all work as bigger teams together, and like as budgets grow for projects, and like the more opportunities come for me to bring on more and more people, and like I've been thankful for the chances that like when people have brought me on, and vice versa, So like I think over these next couple months, especially, bro, it's gonna be a good chance to start like really, branching out with people, collabing with people, and like getting other creatives in to help, help work on joint projects together. And so like, I've been trying to diversify my time a little bit like that. Like asking people for help who I know can help me out in certain aspects, So like, for example, like, I don't know, like we have merch coming out, Cold Pizza merch. Shout out Cold Pizza Productions.
Shout out.
So we got some merch coming out pretty soon. And like, yeah, I'd like to do, like, I like to make designs. I like to use Photoshop, but I'm not designing the fucking logos. I'm not good at that. I'm hiring someone to do that.
Totally.
Like working with someone who's good at that.
Like you want shitty shit.
Yeah. Like, so I think that's a good lesson for me to learn. I think that's a good lesson for a lot of people to learn. If like you were in a position like I was, where you're like, I know I have the potential to be able to do this well, but I could stick with a couple things and do them really well than do 10 things acceptably,
Gotcha.
So I think that's like that's what I've been trying to work on a lot lately as like through my craft is like, how do I stick with the things that I know and I'm really confident about? And how do I accept help from people who I know can help me in other avenues, which I mean, that translates to everything like life and shit too, but.
I got you. So how'd you get into, like, how'd you meet all these big people in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. So jiu-jitsu, man, I've known that shit. So, I've been
how'd you meet Nicky Rod?
So Nicky Rod, I met a lot of people through Kasai. So that company, I used to work at these events, and they were the biggest. Like they got the biggest they got the biggest fighters. They made the biggest fights. They had a lot of cash prizes. It was a great event, And fortunately enough, I was able to interview like all the big names in the sport. Like I'm talking about, I've interviewed everybody. There's one of these videos that are on here, bro, that has a list of like 25 or 30.
I think it's.
But it was literally like, I mean,
isn't it this video?
Yeah, it might be. It might be this one.
It might be that. Yeah.
But it's like.
Yeah, you got a whole list of names that roll by.
It's like 30 ADCC champions, basically.
That's awesome.
Like it's everybody. And even though I've only been able to spend like a brief amount of time with them all, like we do the pre-fight interviews. I'm there when they compete. Like I'm there interviewing them like after and shit. Like I'm there at the weigh-ins and talking to them, interviewing. Like I get to spend a little bit of time with them, but like. It's great because people like Nicky Rod or people like Renato and Raquel, like they have such a great personality that like, you know, they want to have fun, man. So like when I'm interviewing them, bro, they're having a good time. I'm having a good time. And then it's like you get to just chat about whatever. So like with Nicky Rod.
This list?
Yeah, that's the list right there. Those are all basically people who have medaled at ADCC, you know?
Wild.
It's like, and that's just a little list, you know what I mean? Like I've been so fortunate to be like as young as a lot of these fucking athletes and like being able to spend time with them and like chat with them and shit. And like that's what people don't realize is like that's why I made this documentary is like, bro, these are real fucking guys, bro. Yeah. Nicky Rod goes trucking, eats steak, and just chills out on the weekend, bro. Renato and I play fucking Modern Warfare 2, you know?
Oh, lit.
Like Raquel is fucking rollerblades around town. You know what I'm saying? Like these are regular ass people, bro. They're looked at as like these robot fighters, bro. And they get like if you look at their they just get so much shit about, you know, being like big tough scary dudes and cauliflower
big
ears.
meatheads, yeah,
bro. But these are fucking regular guys, man. Like I guarantee, bro. If you met any of these guys, you would get along just as well as I would, bro. They're regular dudes, you know. But they're oftentimes not treated like that, and so like. They're treated like fighters.
Just don't want to piss you off because you'll fucking break my neck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pick me up and throw me out a window.
But like what my dad taught me, bro, is like my dad works. He's a literary agent, so he works with a lot of people who want to write books. So like if he's ever in an environment with he's with someone who's like a celebrity or whatever, he'll treat them like he treats anybody else. And he told me he's like, yeah, bro, like most people, if they're famous, they just want to get treated like they were like before, because like they don't get that anymore, you know. So like when I talk to these fighters, I'm always like, yo, like I'm taking pictures of them or doing something, you know, like for the event. I'm like, yeah, man, like I put a mic on him. I'm like, bro, if you fucking choke me out right now, bro, I'll be real pissed, you know. Like I'll talk shit, bro, you know. I'll joke around with them. Like most people, man, they'll be like, you know, nervous or like I don't know how to act, and I'll just start roasting them, and we'll just start having a good time, you know. And like Nicky Rod, for example, he was like, we were just chatting for a minute. He goes, yeah, man, I like to fucking go quadding, bro. And, you know, I want to do a vlog. And I go, okay, man, let me chat with you tomorrow, bro. I'm gonna see you at like the weigh-ins, whatever. He's like, oh, cool. The next day I go, hey, man, you want to do a vlog? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll call you on Monday. It's okay. And then I call him on Monday. I'm like, yo, when are we doing the vlog? He's like, let's do it tomorrow. So I was like, great, let's do it. I was like, we both live in the city. Let's go. Yeah. And then I show up on Tuesday. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I didn't think you're going to show up, man. He's like, people usually don't do that. I was like, no. I was like, yeah, man. Like if I say I want to do something like a show episode, I'm like, let's do it, you know? And and then we like started it was like 6 months, I think, a little bit more on YouTube. Got like 100K views, bro. And like, I don't. Actually, it was probably less than that. Probably like 90. To be honest, okay.
That's still a lot.
It was still a lot. You know, we got monetized. We got all this. We had like a really great. Like, I'm really proud of what we were able to do. Oh yeah, just through vlogs and podcasts.
It was also really funny too.
Thank you, man.
He's fucking funny.
I appreciate that, bro. He's a great guy.
He's good though.
You know.
Yeah. But I want to come back.
Yeah, man. I think. Yo, Nick, bring it back, bro. We're waiting for him to come back. You know.
Bring it back.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like to answer the question though, the original question, I just kind of chatted with these dudes and then initiate a chance to work. You know, like that's kind of what I do with most people, bro, is like, we'll chat. I'll be like, yo, there's something we could work on. And then like, I'll hit them up and be like, yo, you want to do this? And they'll be like, yeah. And then next thing you know, we're doing it, you know?
Gotcha.
Like the documentary, I think it was within like a month, I called them and was like, yeah, I think we should do it. Like within a month, I had a new camera and I was in Vegas, you know, with my producer. So I was like, it's just like
you just fucking make shit happen.
You have to, bro. You have to, you know? You have to. Like even like, and I've gone like, bro, I've gone broke more times than I can count doing this shit, you know? But like when you have to do something to further your career or like, you know, or to get to that next level of your skill set or like to learn the next step, you know, you have to put everything on the line, your time, your money, you got to put it all on the line, you know, because it's all a cycle, man. You'll lose that money, you'll get that shit back in a month, you know?
You do a really good job at putting everything back into your craft, basically. Like you, like I mean, you flip everything, but like you said, you're like, if you gotta get a new camera, you're like, do I have money for a new camera? Yeah. No, but I'll get it anyway, you know, because I have to. Like,
I'm like, dude, like you just sometimes you just have to like be willing to put all that shit in, whether you want to be a fucking carpenter, bro, or a camera guy. It doesn't matter, you know. You gotta give yourself the tools to do the job.
Does that ever make you nervous though?
No, fuck that, bro. I'm never nervous. What? Yeah. You know, man,
what do you
gotta.
Mean you're never nervous?
Okay, so like you just like, this is gonna sound like the documentary is called Plan A, right? And like it sounds kind of cliche, bro, but like I just put all my eggs in one basket and then that's it. I don't think about it. That's just it, you know?
Woo!
like it's hard to
It's
describe, you know?
risky.
It's kind of just like, bro, it's like,
But that's also why you're getting more and more successful. Is 'cause
Agreed.
I guess you
Yeah.
do that.
agreed. I think
I leave a couple eggs out of the basket.
yeah. I feel like I just can't, like, mentally I can't. If I'm not like 100% like blinders on, this is the only thing I'm thinking about, then I'll get lost. You know, I'll get totally lost. So I'm just like I think about the same things every day. You know, I think about like, what's the next film I could make? Like, what's the next camera I should get? And then what's the next like project I should work on? It's like, that's the three things. It's like, how do I get paid? What do I want to make? And then what's the gear I want? It's like every day. Or it's like whatever I'm working on, like I'll go to sleep thinking this, I'll wake up
That's
thinking this.
passion.
It's obsession, bro. I think more than passion, you know? Because I
Okay.
think it's like I enjoy, like, I enjoy challenging myself and solving these problems and like finding these solutions. And like, I like fucking working hard, bro, and getting paid. Like I like working my ass off and like feeling like I really deserve that, you know? Like I like working twice as hard as I have to, and like really for me to feel like I like am worth that day rate, you know, or like I'm worth that fucking
Word.
project
So
rate,
now-
whatever it is, you know?
So now what would
Yeah.
so you call it obsession.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just call that you have passion, like I said before, but at the same time I feel like you might have access to a gear that a lot of other people might not yet have access to, or don't maybe want access to. You know, like,
well, I think it's
or
like,
the drive is basically what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
think that you just
yeah.
you go through any means necessary to get done what you
Oh
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
get
Fuck yeah.
done.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think that like it's only because like I've learned these things from the people I've been fortunate enough to hang around, you know? Like I learned it from my parents for one. Learned it from guys like Nicky Rod, like people like Renato, like I keep calling her Renato. I'm so sorry. Raquel. I apologize. Raquel and Renato, right? Like they like Renato moved from Brazil to America at 17, like with $50 in his pocket, and like that was it. And he's a fucking world champion with the biggest with the company that has a, you know, universal contract with the UFC.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's insane.
It's crazy.
You know? And like people, like these people, everyone that I know that has been like successful, like didn't come from like a lot of money. It didn't come from like a lot of like crazy shit. But like it's the kids that I know from a lot of money who suck, you know? Like who don't do that much, you know? It's the kids that didn't come from that, who like have hustled twice as hard, man. And like I feel like I've just tried to absorb that through being around them and being around my parents who did, you know, who did the same kind of shit. Like my mom moved from Florida to New York at 17, and it was like, I have to live in the city and I have to work. And she moved here alone and just hustled, bro.
Yeah.
And hustled. My dad owned a small business for 30 years and just hustled every day.
Yeah.
So like my parents were gone every day, 8 to 8, you know, every single day. But like at the time I'm like, like they're working. Okay. I don't really understand. Now I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to work 8 to 8 at least, if not more, every day, you know? And like, if I don't do that, I feel like shit, you know? And because I know that someone else is out there working. And I know that like, if I want to be better, if I want to be the best, I have to treat this every day like an obsession, you know? So there's a lot of things that I love about it, you know, but like it's doing it out of love. And it's also doing it because like I have this overwhelming obsession to just like be the absolute best I can be and like push myself harder than I thought possible, you know? And like, I mean, that's kind of the principles you get when you do jujitsu and wrestling and stuff like that.
I was gonna bring that up. I was like, it's really interesting just because from everything I've listened to and understand about jiu-jitsu is that's what it teaches you. It's like literally everything that you just described. 100%. I was like, oh, this is literally what
100%.
I hear Gordon Ryan say. I hear Joe Rogan say. I hear Jocko say. I hear
it's the same thing.
Everybody's just kind of like jiu-jitsu makes you like literally makes you need to figure things out from a different perspective.
It's that problem solving, bro.
Yeah, it's like problem solving on crack, and it's basically like, and then you understand that like, oh, I might have to set something up over here to be able to get in and slip in and like tackle it from a whole different direction. And so like, bro, it's a very interesting mindset that I was gonna say is that, and you saying that you're surrounded by these people, I'm like, well, it makes sense. And also, I mean, you do jiu-jitsu too, so it makes sense. Yeah. But like, being around those people and being like, oh, like this is what we do,
Yeah.
and we're gonna show you guys what we do. So
100%.
like saying like, yeah, I
treating it the same way they do.
Yeah, like I come to
You
the
know?
country with $50 in my pocket,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna show you how hard I work
Fuck
and
yeah.
how I can set you up, and I'll be one step ahead of you though. Like it might seem like I'm 2 steps behind, but really I'm a step ahead.
He's like, I'm gonna be here at 17, $50, but at 23, bro, I'm gonna have a beautiful ass wife, 2 beautiful ass dogs, a beautiful ass car,
I'm gonna have
a
a
beautiful
fucking
gym
name too for myself,
a name, and I'm gonna get that through back flipping over motherfuckers and choking them out and flying armbarring them. You know, like you don't get that. You know, like so that's like that's kind of like that's how I do most of like most of my mentality, bro. Is just like being around people and like absorbing myself with people who are
keep talking.
Yeah, do you think, bro? Who are like, you know, inspirational in their own way, and just trying to learn as much as I possibly can from them. You know, because
Sorry for seeing my butt.
Ooh, oh, I didn't get to see it, bro. Replay that. Let me see the screen.
Replay.
Yeah, so like it's just that's like a big thing for me, bro. It's just like keeping people around you who like motivate you to be better you, and like as this shit sounds kind of cliche, you know, but like it's the facts. You just gotta you know, you gotta keep people around who like are gonna push you and like encourage you to do, you know, to do shit. Like, you know, like all my buddies, like they understand that like I'm gonna be working really hard, and when they come with me to work on projects, we're gonna be working fucking crazy hours, and we're gonna do this, like we're gonna be making the sacrifice to be able to make like beautiful content. Like my goal is to make like really fucking important content and shit that like people see and they feel some type of way about, you know? Like my goal is to elicit emotions out of people who watch my stuff. Like that is the ultimate goal at the end of the day. Like is to get the chance to tell stories that I think, you know, will take someone's breath away, and like, well, I think will inspire someone to do shit and like look at something differently, and you know, like telling stories that I think are really valuable and don't get told, you know, like I think that's the end goal. And so I gotta keep people around me who inspire me to think like that. Otherwise I'm never gonna get there, you know? And that's with anything you want to do, man. If you want to be good at any field, man, you gotta be around people who are good at that field, you know? You can't have it both ways. You know, you gotta be around people you trust and who are gonna, you know, be accomplishing shit with you. Fucking back, baby. We don't take no long breaks on the Guest Room Podcast, dude. We're back in a tight fucking 15 seconds or less. Guaranteed delivery, boy.
Yeah, that wasn't like 3 hours in between or anything.
Nope. Ben didn't just take a fat shit.
Yeah, and stink up the whole studio. No, we're just.
But we are back, though. That's not a joke. That's true.
That wasn't. Yeah. Actually, that was fast.
That was so fast, bro.
We do a quick switch over.
Yeah, it's like NASCAR, dude. It's like we run a tight ship. Yeah, man.
Pit stops. Dude, I got into Formula 1. I got into F1.
Yeah?
Dude, so cool.
Well, you also got a nice ass whip now, bro, to drive a little F1 with.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. I've never had a sports car.
Yeah.
So things like, it's awesome.
You know me and you're racing for slips, right?
All right, let's do it.
You know what I got?
What you got?
I got a fucking EcoBoost. 1.1 liter, 1 liter hybrid.
Okay.
Subaru, baby.
I'll see you on the strip, bro. I'll see you on the strip.
Anytime, man. I'll put my 100 horsepower up.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'll stay in first. How
okay,
about that?
That's fair.
Okay,
that's fair. And I'll stay at 30 miles a gallon.
Okay, all right, deal.
Yo, you ever see those fucking souped up Priuses, bro?
I don't
No,
know.
man, they're great, bro. They're great. Some people will get a fucking Prius and they'll put like a fucking V8, like a big ass heavy engine in there. Yeah, and they'll smoke people, bro. Yeah, or like those
They
fucking
make them sleepers.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Imagine someone pulling up in like a Prius. You put that fucking baby on board sticker on it. You know, you get some real stock rims, bro.
but there's a V8 in it.
But there's a fucking V8.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no more battery.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, dude. I love that shit, bro.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I can't race though. I was lying.
No, I know.
Okay, good.
I know you
good.
can't race in that.
I don't get my nitrous put in it yet. You know, I've still got the stock nitrous kit, so it's.
Listen, if you had a V8 in that thing, I would be. I wouldn't know where. I feel like you'd be driving in the back seat.
My car is about 500 pounds. You know, I don't think it could hold a V8.
Yeah, your car would just be like on the floor. Just the wheels would just be
man,
stanced out, but not in a good way.
Yeah, bro. I walked in my apartment the other day and I saw 2 baby birds lifting my car up to get a worm.
Oh, wow, nice.
It's that light.
Wow.
It's that light, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
So I guess I'm sure you come out to your car just in the middle of the road then and people taking your spot.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One time I saw a dude just like literally just pulling my car out of the spot, you know?
Yeah. It's just like, get out of here.
Yeah. And then he pushed his fucking pickup truck. It's Nicky Rod, you know, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
He just blew on it and went,
yeah, literally, bro. He just like forced it over.
No, but you got to watch F1 Drive to Survive on Netflix.
Okay.
Mad good.
Yeah.
And
what do they do, bro?
I didn't I always thought I was like, okay, I was like, F1's like NASCAR, where it's like, all right, let's just go fast and like left turn and do this. And no. That's not what F1 is whatsoever. F1 is literally about like, it's about how fast you can go, but also having the best car and the best, and like it's more about the technology and like, yeah, it is about the driver, and like the driver is one part of it, but it's more about the car. And like, I don't watch NASCAR, but I'm just gonna shit on NASCAR right now anyway, is because literally NASCAR is like, okay, they go fast and
everyone's got
driving
the same shit.
one thing. It's like but in F1, it's literally every car is different than the next car.
And are they racing like Lambos and shit, bro? Like what are they racing?
No. They all have V6 engines now. So basically, dude, it's crazy. So what happened is over the last, basically F1 Drive to Survive was made by F1 and Netflix to purposely get more US people and Americans into F1, which they did.
Huh.
And so now they're on the third season just came out. And so
they work fast, bro.
And so basically, but like what got me into it is that they basically go into like, it's unlike any other sport that exists, because the drivers are like, there's so much drama that happens.
Yeah,
and
they're party boys, huh?
No, not even party boys. It's more like there's a lot of backstabbing going on.
What?
And there's a lot of loose holes and rules.
Are the people like
stuff.
stopping each other's tires and shit?
No,
Oh,
no,
man,
can't do
okay,
that. But basically, what happens is that like,
cutting brakes.
let's say, for instance, Red Bull has a car and they hire you to drive for them.
Which would be a great idea,
you
bro.
go, okay, I want X amount, I want this, and they go, okay, yes. You could then in the middle, you could drive three races into this season and go and McLaren can come up to you and go, hey Mike, we want you to drive for us next season, and you just go, okay. Like, yeah, I can do that. And then your contract with Red Bull is like done with that, and you can just go over to the next season. Like, it's like, so like drivers switch teams all the time. And there's a lot of like, so there's drivers that have driven for like 4 different teams. Damn. And the rivals will go for other rivals' drivers. And so there's a lot of that. And then on top of that, they have to build an elite car to compete against everybody else's car. So the technology in the cars is just like out of this world, and every year they start from scratch and have to build a new car from scratch. So
and they're V6s.
They're V6s now. Before they weren't. Now within the last couple of years, they changed it to V6 because basically F1 is very, very, very uncompetitive. Like there's only a top, like it's only like Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and that's it. Like those are like the top 3 teams that just always win it. They're beasts. And the reason is because their budget is like this. And there's other teams whose budgets are like this. So Red Bull has millions of dollars to put into their car, while some of the other teams only have
$20K.
Like literally. And so
$500.
They don't have the best drivers because they can't pay anything. Their car it literally can't go as fast as them. So basically now F1 is starting to change the rules to make it more competitive. And so they basically took the engines out and they said, okay, everyone's going to a V6 engine. And then after that, they started implementing new rules with like, okay, your chassis has to be like this. Your tires have to be like this, and like all that stuff. So, but this is the other very interesting thing, is that the rules are so loose that the teams find loopholes. And so some cars are able to go faster than other cars still. And like, is it considered cheating? Like there's a loophole. So like, there's a lot of like that stuff going on. So like, but like just the races is crazy because they're going on 200 miles around a turn. And like, it's just cool. It's a really cool, interesting sport. And it's very fascinating. F1, like the documentary does like the first season does such an amazing job of being like, this is what F1 is, and like this is why it's so cool. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I get that. So now I'm watching it, and like it's awesome. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
I could see Mercedes being like, okay, they got to be V6 is great.
Dude, Mercedes
Put two in there.
Mercedes has been the best
You know?
for the last 7 or 8 years. They
Yeah.
literally, the guy that Lewis Hamilton, he drives for Mercedes, literally wins almost every single race. He's been the champion for the last 6 years in a row.
Damn.
Like Mercedes is untouchable, and
Jesus.
no car can compete against Mercedes.
Yeah.
But now that the rules are changing and some stuff,
It's got a little more competitive.
also
huh?
Red Bull now has a really good driver, and like so like it's cool. Like it's definitely getting a lot more competitive, and also the crazy thing is that if your car breaks, you're done. Like you're out of the race, and so like that happened last weekend in Monaco, where like the guy that basically you qualify for your position.
Yeah.
So Charles Leclerc came in first, and he's from France, and they were driving in Monaco, which is in France, and Monaco, that Grand Prix is like one of the craziest Grand Prix. So he was in first place, and he ended up crashing on the last turn of the
Damn,
qualifying, but still held his spot because he was still the fastest. And then what happened is like, and so basically they have to fix your car overnight to the race because he crashed literally 16 or 17 hours
Jesus
before. So they have to
Christ.
rebuild your whole like suspension. They have like, so they did all of that.
Yeah.
And they went on, and there's something called the gearbox, which
Yeah.
controls everything. And they were like, okay, we think that's good. And they went out on a practice lap right before the Grand Prix started, and his car wouldn't make it past the first lap, and it was done. So he was out of the race. And so like that happens all the time. And then at the same time, somebody's wheel wouldn't come off during the pit stop.
Damn. Okay.
So he was out of the race. I was like 16 laps in, and he was in first place. It's crazy. So like it's a cool sport. It's very fascinating. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and it's cool.
Yeah, I'd be
Gotta
curious
watch
about the
it.
loopholes, bro. I feel like companies would like definitely fucking pull some sneaky shit. Like I could see,
they
I
do.
could see like Red
They do.
Bull.
There's I mean, Red Bull hasn't really done anything. It's more like
Mercedes, huh?
Mercedes does some
those
crazy shit. But like at the same time, it's interesting because it's necessary in the sport because it keeps evolving the sport to get better. So basically, what happened in this last season is that Mercedes got really fast with their car, and nobody could figure out what it was until I don't know if it was the off season or during the season. Basically, they realized that while they were driving, they were pulling the steering wheel in towards them, and then they were pushing it out, and it would make the stance of the tires, the front stance of the tires, go in a little bit and then go out a little bit.
Damn.
So when they were going around turns, they would like pull it into them and make the tires go in so they could grip more. And then going out of they would pull out, and then it would go out. So like the other teams like realized that, and it took them like a couple races to figure it out. And so they went to like the F1 academy, or I don't know who was in charge of it. And they're like, is this legal? And they're like, I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah, they're like, I don't know. They're like, we don't know. They're like, it's a loophole. Like, we
Yeah.
can't. So, like, they had to do an investigation and all this bullshit. And, but teams do that. And so
They should just fucking copy them, bro. Instead of doing all that extra
well, there's
shit.
that too. And that happened a couple seasons ago where it was, I forget the name of the team, but they copied Mercedes's car, and they copied the underneath where like the wind comes in underneath, and they basically copied that.
Good for them, bro.
And
Good for
so
them.
like so then other teams were like, well, are you cheating because you're copying the same design of another car? Because like that's not really allowed. And like there's a lot of like crazy janky shit that happens, but it's cool. It's really cool. And every race could be different.
So like in theory, bro, if I did soup up my car, could I go race over there?
Probably not.
Oh,
Probably not.
shit.
My screensaver went away.
That's cool, bro. It's cool, you know.
Yeah, no, it's dope.
Whatever.
Yeah. Sorry.
What do you got in there? You got a
Yeah,
V8 or a 6 in there?
V8.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Dude, it's fast.
It's fast, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild.
You like hit any pedestrians yet?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, it's fun.
But it's black, so I just rolled the
Yeah, I
blood
was
off.
gonna say, just
blood
easy
doesn't
clean,
stay
bro.
on.
It's an easy clean.
It's good.
Make
It's
Ben
easy.
do it, bro. Put him to work. Because right now he's just fucking sitting
he's doing
there.
a bunch of other stuff. He's like, what the fuck?
He's like, no one ever does this to me, man. Come on, man.
All right, so you sent me a trailer for the documentary.
Yes, sir. Yes, I did.
Want to watch it?
I would love to.
Which I'm down.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to. So this is actually never before seen. Yeah. And oh wait.
That's other music.
That's the other tab open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ben
I forgot.
pulled the audio.
No,
I'm just kidding, bro. I just gotta someone's gotta give him a hard time, man. Come on, dude.
I know we're not.
You're this good looking, bro. You get through life easy, man. Come on, someone's gotta challenge this kid.
My room is not set up like Joe Rogan's fucking podcast. Yeah, I don't got fucking.
There it is.
You know, I want to be a dream seller all the way through. I want people to buy dreams and believe in themselves. That's what athletes are there for. We show that things are possible with hard work and dedication.
Our story is to inspire other people to keep trying. You know, that if you keep knocking on that door, it has to open. So.
Badasses.
Thank you, bro.
That's lit.
Thank you.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, man. I just kind of put something real simple, you know.
I like I kind of like how you shoot your stuff. Like,
thank you, bro.
I don't know how to specific. I mean,
I try to be a little different, you know. I just try to be a little different. That's really just that's the goal.
Now it's the super my thing. But no, like I meant like color wise. Like it's very cool. Yeah. Like it's very interesting because I know it's like you have Joffrey's music videos.
I like I like to experiment, you know. Like I like to have fun with it. You know, so like I think a big part for me when it comes to like color is something that I'm still really trying to learn. And so it's still something that I get to experiment with every new video. Like this documentary was like the longest and most challenging like coloring process I've ever had to do. You know, because we're talking about 22 minutes of footage, you know, that was shot over the course of 3 years in varying different environments.
So
you know,
so it's 22 minutes long.
Yeah, 22 minutes long.
I don't know where the fuck my mouse is on this thing. So.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. Yeah, if y'all see my email up there, man, say what up. Pop my email.
None of that.
Yeah. So so it was a challenge, man. Like the color I think is really fun. Like I gravitate towards like blues and teals and oranges a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I feel like one thing I've been doing, man, is like understanding like, hey, I don't have an Alexa Mini, you know? But like I have a camera that does really well on color. So like instead of focusing on making like a crystal clear, I can see your pore type of shot, you know, like I can see your skin cells, you know, instead of making something that, you know, Alexa Mini quality, it's like, well, I can make it feel cohesive by, you know, trying to implement the same color schemes and dressing people in a certain way. And like I think the best example of this, I think this video should be being released soon, but there's a few segments of it on my Instagram and on Nolan Santos, but we did a video called 200cc, and it's like a third of the video is animated, and we shot it over like 3 hours. There's a real run and gun, real fast setup. But like the one thing I was like really focused on that whole shoot was like color coordinating, matching his outfits with the color I wanted to use in post-production, matching the matching the cinema 4D scene to here. I'm actually gonna pull this up right now. I'm sorry to pull up my phone, but
how
matching
disrespectful.
I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. But like you're matching trying to match all the colors so that it feels cohesive, that you're not watching a bunch of mesh, you know, you're watching something that is like, you know, from start to finish you can follow.
Like more fluid, I guess.
100%, like more fluid. Oh yeah, thank you.
You can unhook the I just tied it up so there wasn't so many wires. Sweet. All flopping around.
Yeah, so I'll just play like a little thing of this. I can send you this if you want. But
yeah,
it's actually not really released, but
we'll send it to Ben. We'll do.
Yeah, so like I'll just show you a little bit, right? So I'll let it play because the audio is gonna get fucked up if I fast forward. But using this intro scene, like colors to real life, same exact color.
Gotcha.
You know? And like this is just an experimentation over a couple hours that we had together, and having him in those orange and blue outfits. You know, orange outfit right there, blue tone on the light. Like it's just very trying to stay very cohesive with stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I don't want to play too much because I know he hasn't put it out yet. But I know there's a clip on my Instagram. You have that video too. That's for you, Ben. You gotta do some homework later on that. But yeah, so like, actually it was right there. But anyways, I put it in my reels too. But it's like trying to do stuff that like even though I'm working with still like limited, like even when I'm working with a group like AJR, like you guys are, I don't know if you're familiar with them. Like they're not like they're not the biggest group, but like they are definitely like the most accomplished people I've worked with as far as like, bro, they're signed with BMG. They just won Billboard. They just won a Billboard award and iHeartRadio Music Award. Have you ever seen these guys?
Is this the band?
Mhm.
Those three guys?
The three brothers.
Yeah.
So they're like they're famous, bro. You know, like they sell out stadiums and tours. Like they're they're
when
big,
you posted their videos, I watched
sweet.
a couple of their stuff and I was like,
they're humongous, bro.
Yeah,
But like
I
the
never-
crazy thing is, like even working with them, bro, we shoot on an A7S Mark III. You know, like we shoot on a $3,000 camera. That's it. And it's like taught me a lot about like taking these resources and like reinterpreting what's actually valuable to the project. So like it doesn't have to be shot on an Alexa Mini to be a great video. Like the stuff that we've been doing lately with them, I think is like some of the best work I've ever been involved in. But it's like shot on an actual budget where like we're not worried about renting a $60,000 camera. Instead, we're like, yo, let's hire a 12-piece band and like have a 12-piece band bopping and playing along behind them. Let's go spend 4 days visiting all of these locations and renting out all of these spots and like, you know, getting all of these extra stuff in that we need and not worry about whether the camera's 4K or 8K or 12K. Who gives a shit, you know? And I think that's been like a big learning curve for me is like, okay, like I always would have thought like if I'm going to be working with a group that's signed with BMG that has like sometimes their video budgets can be like 70 grand. You know, I would think like, yeah, they're going to give me a fucking crazy ass camera to shoot with and I'm going to get all these PAs and assistants, but it's like, nah. It's me and my buddy Eduardo, who's the director, like our producer Lola, and like a couple of maybe we'll get like a couple extras, maybe, you know, but it'll just kind of be like the three of us and like maybe a gaffer or a set designer, and that'll be it. And we'll just be running around for a couple days and like seeing how successful a video can be if you reallocate the budget to like other stuff that's not camera quality, you know, and that's not equipment and not gear.
So
you know, like the OK Overture video we did was the first one that I shot and edited with them, and it's like 2 million views right now. And we didn't even fucking use a light. Like we didn't even use a light. Like we just used the A7S Mark II on a stabilizer with one of my lenses. You know, like but there was so much forethought and energy put into like the shot composition and where we're shooting it and why we're shooting it here and what locations we're going to use that we spent like 4 days shooting it, 6 days editing it, even longer doing VFX. And like it's something that like I can watch that video all day long and be like, wow, like this doesn't feel like a low budget video, even though they shot it on a camera that you can rent for $100 a day. You know what I mean? Like, so it's been really cool to see that shit happen. And like we're now, this is the third project now I'm editing with them. It's going to be coming out pretty soon. I don't know if I can like actually say what the name of the song and shit
Don't
is.
do it. Don't do it.
It'll be out soon enough. So like I'm excited
It'll be a
for people to
surprise.
see it.
When it is, I'll
go
on my Instagram.
Thank you, bro. But
post
it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the previous ones. Like we're working with a really small budget, but like they're allocating it towards like, you know, getting people to come out and be extras and getting outfits and getting
so
all
it's
that extra
more
stuff.
it's more about the content than it is about the quality.
Oh, 100%.
Which I guess is
it's not what I usually thought. You know,
gotcha. So it's not what you expected of a bigger production per se.
100%.
So now, So basically, they're getting the money obviously from A&R.
Yeah.
And does A&R have any part in this, or are they just like, here's the money now? You guys just think of your music video, you do all that, you handle your director,
so
they're just like, we just want to have the rights to it.
100%. They're very hands on. So like,
so they are hands on.
They're extremely hands on. Like I sit down every video that we work on together. We have to have like at least 1 day of live editing together where we all sit down in a room and we go through all the final cuts, whether something's a micromillimeter too fast or too slow, or like a beat is cut a little separately. Like we all have to sit down, the director, me, and one of the brothers, and like go through it for hours, you know?
So the final product is they're more hands on.
Yeah.
What I was more talking about, it was like the shooting of the video. So they're not like, hey, use this director. Like do that.
They stick with people they trust. So for example, right, my buddy Eduardo, he's been directing their music videos, I think, for the past 4 or 5 music videos now.
Okay.
And me, Eduardo, and the brother Jack went to middle school together.
Okay.
So I've known Jack since like a kid. But like, when you say middle school, bro, like how many kids do you know from your middle school? probably not that many, you know?
I know everybody because I went to a
shit.
really, really small high school.
Yeah, we went to like a bigger school in the
I
city,
graduated
so, like,
with
there was a lot
72
of
kids in my class.
Okay.
Or 75. I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's somewhere 70s.
Yeah, no, we had like a couple hundred, so like it was a big crowd, you know. And like after middle school, man, I didn't talk to like I lost touch with I moved to Long Island. I moved out of the city. I didn't talk to anyone after middle school really. So like coming into college, Eduardo's directing now and working in film. He's like going to film school. Me and him have a chat one day. We're like, yo, let's catch up, whatever. We start talking. 6 months later, he's like, yo, so I think I'm gonna shoot with this band, AJR. You might remember them from middle school. Like, you want to come on and like edit something with us? And I was like, yeah, let's do it, whatever. And then I start looking into them. And I'm like, damn, they're like big and they care. And like the first project, I was just editing their Way Less Sad music video. And fucking 7 mil right now, by the way. And
a lot.
it's crazy,
That's
bro.
crazy.
It's fucking crazy. I used to like
Watch bed games. Get it to 7 minutes.
fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. You know? Anyway, so like I immediately noticed that like the first project we're editing, like the third or fourth day, they came over to the apartment, like two of them, Jack and Ryan came over and like we sat down with Eduardo and just went through the whole video that we had. And like we just went through all the different cuts and like after a couple hours we were like, no, this is the one, finalize it, picture lock it, send it out. And so like that became like the formula for the past two videos as well, or whatever, how many. We, shoot them. They kind of just coordinate with Eduardo, like, hey, we're going to kind of, like, Eduardo's going to direct it. And then I've been fortunate enough where Eduardo's like, yo, I want you to shoot this and I want you to edit it. So he'll just tell me like, hey, bro, we're going to do these scenes. This is what we kind of want. And then he'll give me like a little creative freedom to like add stuff to some shots sometimes or like come up with ideas and pitch stuff. But it'll also be like, hey, they want wide coverage here. And I'll be like, fuck yeah, that's no problem.
Gotcha.
So there also are very like, oh, let's get a wide shot here. Let's get this shot here. And then half the time it's also like, what do you want to do? So like, it's a good mix of both. But they're also like, they're also really passionate about what they do, obviously, to get that level.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be around people who like give so much of a shit. Like if this video frame is one left or right, they will fucking care so much. And I love it, Like that's the level
awesome.
of obsessive I want to be at,
Gotcha.
where like it has to be this way because this is the only perfect way, like that type of shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, working with like, so like now reevaluating what camera I want to get next too is like, it's made me think a lot about that. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get a mini. Like I'm not gonna get a $70,000 camera right now. What the fuck is the point?
Yeah.
And no, I don't want to I would take fuck that shit.
Yeah.
That's so much
Take a
money, bro.
loan out.
You kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Not
god,
yet.
no
You're not-
way,
you're
no
not-
way,
there's
no
no
way.
need to yet.
60, 70 grand, bro. That is like a down payment on a fucking house, dude, or something. That's like
It is.
I don't even.
On Long Island
Yeah, that's a lot of Subarus,
or
bro.
in New York.
That's a lot of
It's fucking
EcoBoost,
expensive here.
30 mile a gallon Subarus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna get something just like a red Komodo or FX6, like something that is like can hold its own and you can test it with a fucking a mini and like it will hold up. But it's also something that like I can take a red Komodo anywhere, bro. That shit's like this big. I can take a FX6 anywhere that's tiny. So it's like my new gear setup, like ideal gear setup, has gone from being like wanting this like monster setup that is, Alexa quality with the fucking Zeiss like the old vintage lenses, to being like, no, I want something that like gets the job done and makes things look good, but isn't going to break the bank because that's not what's important. It's more
efficient.
important. It's efficient.
You need something efficient for
100%.
for your level right now.
100%.
And that's what you're focused on.
Bro, I'm not making movies with Universal. I'm not making fucking, I'm not making shit like that. I don't need a movie camera.
Yeah,
I need a camera
totally.
that I can use for a documentary or a music video or whatever the fuck I want,
Yeah.
So like, that's something I've been thinking about too, is like getting a new piece of gear, getting a new camera is like, oh great, I actually don't have to go broke and get a new one. I can just get like an FX6.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the past I would be like, oh man, I gotta spend every dime I have to get the biggest camera. And now I'm like, well, I reevaluated it. Wait, I can just spend a reasonable amount and get something that will do the job really well. And I can spend the rest of my money, still go broke, but I can spend the rest of it on shit that's going to make my content better,
Gotcha. So now is that like the one thing, because you're like the third guest on the podcast.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And that was a year ago, because we did the round table was August 12th is when it dropped, which was 2020. So let's say, I don't know when the first episode came out. It's definitely been over a year. But would you say that that's the most most pivotal thing that you've learned since then?
Oh man,
within
so
this year
I can I can try to sum this up nicely for you.
Or I should say, what do you think? What's the most important thing that you've learned in just 1 year
since that time?
Yeah.
Okay, so like this podcast was the first time I like put myself out there, you know, and then I think that like the past year and a half, obviously, like everyone else, man, you learn a lot over this quarantine shit and COVID. You learn a lot over this like being challenged like this. But like I've held most of the same principles very close to my heart. Work your ass off, you know, be willing to like try everything you possibly can, work long ass days. And then I think the biggest thing is like I've been working a lot smarter. So I think like constantly being able to like since the first episode, I've like looked back and taken like a real stock and like evaluation of where I'm at in my career and like where I want to be. Like I've made sure that over quarantine especially, like I kind of like isolated my goals and like made them more clear to myself so that like, you know, when you're in the mix of things and you're working your ass off, like you don't really have that time to like sit back and like write down your goals and aspirations and clear cut a plan to get there, you know? So I think that's the biggest thing that's changed since this first episode. It's the first time I've been on here is like become a lot more strategical. So like nowadays it's like everything that I do now has a higher purpose of like, you know, improving my work, improving the quality of my life so I can work even harder. Like improving shit that, you know, that you wouldn't think would matter, like my diet. So like I can actually go out there and get better sleep and then work better the next day. You know, it's like I think that's the biggest thing. And if anyone else is listening to this who like is looking for advice, man, it's you know, be constantly reevaluating what you're doing and honest about how you can make it better because there's always something you can do better. And I've been in a position before where I'm like, yo, I'm the best, man. I'm the fucking best. And then 2 seconds later, you have to talk yourself down and be like, hey, man, like, you know, you're not. And like if you want to be, you have to improve the things that you're lacking. So I think that's really important to keep like that open, honest communication with yourself when you're like, hey, you want to be better. You have to improve. This is what you're not good at. Like you have to constantly be shoving your.
No, you know, did you have to have that talk with yourself a couple times, or was
every day, bro? This is every day.
Okay,
you know,
gotcha.
This is an everyday thing, and I think I started doing like after I did this podcast, I was like, well, you know, because everyone's got an ego, bro. So like I'll have times where I'm like, yeah, my shit doesn't stink, bro. I'm great, you know, and then like I'll like force myself to like look at my old work or like look at something I used to think was perfect, and then tell myself how I can make it better, or like think about something that like I fucked up on a shoot one time, you know, and then be like, well, this will never happen again because I will improve X, Y, and Z factor. You know, like that the reasons why this happened, you know? So I think it's like, I think I've done that a lot since you started this podcast and I started coming on. It was like, I will constantly look at what I'm doing and be like, well, it's not perfect. You know, it's getting better. It's not perfect, but it's getting better, you know? Yeah. And like you, as much as you need to talk yourself down and be like, yo, you keep working. You also need to be like your number one fan, and like finding that balance, I think, is what I've really been able to find since COVID happened. I've been really finding that balance where like every day I'm waking up and I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm acknowledging the fact that I have a lot more work to do, and that it's going to be really hard. Do you
think without quarantine, and COVID, that
I don't know where I would be, bro, without it. Yeah,
gotcha.
It really pushed me because COVID and quarantine, man, it made me lose Kasai shut down. So my steady retainer job that was fucking. I was working, you know, 2 weeks out of the month, and I was getting paid a whole month for, you know, like it was the cushiest job. Like I was just getting paid cash to make videos every month, and like I would not have to work a lot, and I would travel every 2 months. They would send me to across the country or somewhere, you know. Yeah. And quarantine happened, they shut down. So I'm like, I go from being like, wow, I'm actually comfortable and secure. Like I've been freelancing for years, and like I'm comfortable right now, to being like, oh. Shit's got to change, you know, and I got to reevaluate everything. Gotcha. You know, and I think that was definitely after the first episode was COVID and all that shit, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so we started. I want to say like that came out. No,
I think November, bro.
I want to say like
because
I forget when I started this podcast. Honestly, I don't know if I started in 2019 or 2020.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at Ben. I mean, Ben was here for almost every. Ben was on the first episode, so you. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
yeah. It was 2020, right? Yeah. Okay. So it was like 2020.
Yeah.
So we were almost into the beginning of the pandemic. It was
Sweet.
like, yeah, January, February. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and like I remember being on the show and like talking about Kasai and how cool it was and all
Yeah,
that. And
yeah,
then like 2 months
yeah.
later, bro, they're done.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, that was like I started the Nicky Rod channel. You know,
Yeah.
I planned this trip to Vegas. You know, like I just was like, it took that everything coming to a stop for me to like start going. You know, because I was like I needed everyone around me to be like not doing shit for me to be like, oh fuck, this is my chance, bro. People are not doing shit. This is my
gotta
dad's
hop
told
on
me
it.
my whole life. You gotta outwork people. You gotta outwork people my whole life. So like the second I saw people not working, bro, I got hungry. You know, I was like, there's so much opportunity out there, and no one's making it happen. You know, so
That's the gear I'm talking about. That's the gear I'm talking about.
Bro, I just started
getting
hustling.
after it.
I think like I thought I was working really hard before COVID, and then once COVID hit, I was like, you weren't doing shit.
Yeah.
You know, you were working hard, but like you could have done more. You know,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, I'm not leaving that chance. I'm not gonna look back in 6 months and be like, yo, you could have done more right now. You know?
It also put you like you're saying, put you in that financial situation where you were like, oh, holy shit! Like, wait, now I need to, like you got comfortable is what happened. You got comfortable where you were, and then COVID hit, and you were like,
oh yeah,
it made you reevaluate, and you're
100%.
like, wait a second, I can't be comfortable.
Literally.
So now you're staying.
Literally.
So now I feel like when you get comfortable,
Yeah.
you don't like it.
I don't like it, bro.
Wait, hold on, I gotta go to the next level. I gotta
The
push
second I
myself.
start like saving money again, bro, like I'll thank God my mom works for Chase, so like she's always giving me like good financial advice, like save your money, do like staying on top of me about like don't spend all your money, you know. But every time, bro, I'll work a big project or something. I'll get like a check and I'll be like, yo, I could go buy a new camera right now. I could buy a new lens. I could buy a new this. And I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, yo,
tempting.
yeah, I'm like, yo, buy that red right now. I'm like, buy it. And then I'm like, I can't. I just won't. I won't, you know? So it's like, because I'm comfortable. I'm like, I can't be comfortable. You need to buy that. You need to spend your money, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but in reality, I'm like, I really should just be saving,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
But yeah, so it's like, you know, I don't want to be comfortable. Not for a long
gotcha.
time.
Yeah. I feel
yeah.
It's not good to feel comfortable.
No. I need to feel
You
I need to feel like there's pressure and stress every day of my life, you know, or I'm not going to get anything done.
That doesn't seem healthy, but I get what you're saying. You're just motivated. That's what it is. You're saying
I thrive on this shit, bro. I like this chaos. I want long hours, bro. I want to be like exhausted all day.
You want that?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
That's that
bro.
gear. See, like I'm sitting over here, like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want you to do
Well,
that.
I also think about like, bro, like okay, so like a lot of people get anxiety, depression. I mean, all these issues, right? But like when I'm working 14, 15 hours a day, bro, I don't have the time for that or the emotional capacity. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but but would you say that you're just suppressing that shit because you're too occupied on your work? But
That
then
could
when
be
you go
it.
home,
Yeah.
you're just like
that could be
I mean, not saying that you have anxiety,
No, no.
stress, or any of that stuff. I'm just saying,
Yeah. I notice
right,
like if I don't do much, like the less I do, the more likely I'll be to slip to like
feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, just start to
and
feel
so-
depressed or
Gotcha.
anxious or like, you know. But like if I'm working all day long and like I physically don't have the time to think about it, I pass out when I go to sleep. You know, I'll pass out.
I got
You
you.
know, I
I
don't
got
think-
you. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, so like that's probably not the healthiest way to deal with it.
I was just playing devil's advocate. I wasn't trying to like
No, you're good, bro.
be like, oh, you are depressed and you should feel it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah. Like, you know, I'll be depressed on the one day I take off. Like
I got you.
You know?
I got you.
Yeah.
But
like,
you like working.
Yeah,
You like
yeah.
what
I like
you do.
working.
You enjoy what you do. It makes
Yeah.
you feel happy.
I would rather work
and-
than feel anxious.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
And guess
yeah.
what? I would want to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of feel about it. You know, like
I just
like
don't want anybody to start being like,
You're making a lot of money. You're so successful, Mike. You're so successful, and I'm not. I'm not following and not doing what I want because I'm sad.
Well, hey man, yo, if you're not doing what you want right now, bro, you guys watching this, listening to this shit, do what the fuck you want.
yeah.
Don't
that's
listen.
what I say.
Don't fucking wait for someone to yell.
That's what I say.
Do what you fucking want, man. There's nothing stopping
Yeah.
you, bro. This shit. What I'm
The mindset.
Yeah,
The
bro.
mindset.
We're doing this shit ain't easy, man. But we just do
No,
it, bro.
you
You
gotta
know?
do it.
Like-
Also, like, it's a gear. Like I said, it's
Mm-hmm.
a gear. Like I think, like I don't have the gear that you have per se. I wish I did. And,
think you do.
And I
think
I
you do.
do on some days. Other days, no way.
I think in
But-
here, you got it.
Yeah. But I
got
think
it.
it's the passion, and I think it's motivation, and
Yeah.
and like I think if you whatever you want to do, you make the time for it, no matter
100%.
no matter what it is. So fortunately enough for you, what you love doing, you made your full-time career.
Thank God, bro.
Thank God. It's
God.
not easy because, like you said, you got to put in 14-hour days. And sometimes for people that want to, let's say, do what you do, and they go, 14-hour days?
They go, fuck.
I work 8-hour days. And like, shit. But like, okay, well, what if you're a student, a full-time student, and you go to work?
And you're
like that's
working,
like you're
bro,
probably you're probably working for it's like unfortunately maybe after that 14-hour day of school and work, you might have to put in another 3 or 4 hours of doing editing or whatever you have to do.
I did all this shit. I did all this shit while I'm going to college, bro. When I was in Oneonta for 2 years, Oneonta, I put like 20,000 miles on my car.
Wow.
Going back and forth every other weekend, back and forth. I would come out the weekend to shoot, go back up to Oneonta and go do school all week. Every weekend, bro. For almost 2 years, I was driving hundreds of miles a weekend just to come and work. And like while I'm at school all week, I'm editing what I shot on the weekend and I'm going to school. Like when I was in community college, bro, I was going full-time community college and I was doing 40 hours working at a restaurant in Bayshore. That's two full-time things at once.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like you got...
There's only 24 hours in a day.
Literally, you know? Like
math,
anyone who wants to be successful at more than just one thing or like exceptionally successful at one thing, you have to put in extra hours if you want it to be a full-time job. I thank God, bro, that I'm in a position now where I don't have to work other jobs. You know, I get to do what I want for a living. But it took me, bro, like my gear, like just tallying up all the gear that I need to do my job right now. We're talking about like years of time and $30,000 to $40,000 of investments. You know,
totally.
Bro, I've crashed 7 drones.
I know. We talked about it on the first one. You were 5 drones in or something.
Jesus
at that
Christ,
point.
you know what I mean? Like it's taken so much time and money, but I've finally been able to be a full time at what I do, you know, and not have a boss and like not have someone tell me what to do and be able to contribute to these projects that I care about a lot, you know. And this goes for anybody could do this, bro. You just have to be willing to work twice as hard if you want to be your own boss. You got to be the boss and the employee. You know, you got to be able to do both.
100%.
Even when you're just starting out, you know. So for those of you listening, bro, who are trying to start some shit, trying to start your own clothing line, film business, photography business, graphic design business, do that shit in your off time until you're exhausted. Don't you dare be playing fucking Call of Duty, bro. Don't you fucking dare be playing Minecraft and Roblox, dog. Get your ass out there and do what you want to do and make it fun, man. Change up what you're learning and make it fun, make it challenging.
So now, how important is like ownership to you? Because it sounds like, or accountability, you know, because it sounds like you hold yourself accountable for a lot of stuff. Like you're saying,
responsible. I'm responsible for the people that I bring on set. For the people who I put in positions to succeed, like when I bring, like tonight, bro, I got my buddy Allie's coming with me. She's gonna do a photography gig tonight. Like I'm trying my best to teach her how to like do photography for events and shit. So like by bringing her on, I feel like I'm responsible to her to like give her all the tools I possibly can for her to succeed, and responsible for the client to make sure that she's showing up at 100%.
Gotcha.
So like I feel like I have to play a lot of different roles, and I feel like accountability is how I'm able to do so many things. Is like, I'm accountable for people and jobs that I really trust. So like if someone puts if I'm shooting a music video with AJR, like they know that they can count on me to make sure there's memory cards in that camera, it's backed up, we have the right lens on, we have the ND filter on, it's properly exposed, all that shit. I'm gonna get the right angle, you know. Like if I'm asking Ben to do audio for me for TED, I know he's gonna do a good job, you know. And like I know he knows I'm holding him accountable to do a good job, you know. So like everyone who I put on set with me is like, they know I believe in them, and they know that like they're capable of doing what the job is that I'll try to give it to them, you know. And like they're never shy of asking like, yo, I need this to get this done, or like I want this piece of gear, and I'll always do what I can. So like I think that's like, I mean, I'm talking about this a lot today, but like holding people accountable and putting people in a position that, you know, they're gonna do something better than you will, you know. And knowing that they're gonna hold you accountable to like I know guys like Ben are if I'm on set with someone like Ben and Allie and Jonah, like I gotta go all out. I gotta be on my A game for them. You know, they're holding me accountable to make this project. You know, and vice versa. So it's like it's a team effort. And I think when everyone on the team is holding each other, you know, responsible for these, you know, for this stuff happening, then you get to make some really great stuff. Dope. You know, but that's the answer question. Yeah, accountability is key, bro. Yeah, it's key.
Yeah, dope, man. Yeah. So what do you got? What's your next?
It's time to plug shit up.
What's your next steps? Yeah.
All right. Looky here, guys. If you're on audio, man, switch over. See me and guys' beautiful faces over here. Here's what we're doing, all right? We got some merch coming out. We got cold pizza merch. When does this drop?
Cold pizza. I don't know how to be honest.
Within 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Like 2-3 weeks.
Okay,
like
perfect.
2-3 weeks. Literally,
That's perfect timing.
like probably two weeks from next week. So
Perfect.
3 weeks from now, probably.
All right, so and by that time, this cold pizza merch is going to be live.
dope.
Go get yourself a slice of this piece of shit.
Go get yourself some slice.
That's
of
right.
merch.
We're also going to be doing a New York City premiere for the Plan A Canuto documentary. Hit me up, man, if you want to see if you can come through. It's going to be limited for COVID.
That will be displayed here. You can follow his handle here.
Oh, yeah.
Ben here.
Or Ben. Make it so I, like... you know what I'm saying, bro? Like,
We'll make it fun. We'll make it fun for Ben.
okay. I'm trying to think what else, bro. Shout out my fucking team, bro. My cold pizza team, man. Jonah Taramu, my producer, my brother from another mother, Ali, my sister from another mister. She's AP assistant producer, stylist, all that shit. Shout out the boys, man. Shout out my mom, my dad, you know, all that stuff, bro. And I'm out.
Word.
Check it out.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I think
all
that's
you
it,
got.
bro.
You don't want to. What more advice? Give me one more piece of advice.
One more piece of advice, bro.
One more piece of advice for the listeners. For let's say somebody
Yeah, give me a scenario.
3 years down the line from
Yeah.
now is going back through my podcast and they stumble across this one. They go, oh, who's this guy? And then they just listen to all this and now they're like,
in 3 or 4 years?
yeah, in 3 or 4 years from now.
All right, bro. In 3 or 4 years, I'm gonna call it right here, right? 3 or 4 years, bro. You're gonna catch me making a fucking movie with all my buddies. You know, fucking famous people, bro. We're doing it ourselves.
You doing movies or are you doing documentaries? What do you want?
I'm doing this all, bro.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
doing
I
everything.
listen.
Oh.
I ain't leaving this industry. I'm not leaving the game until I do it all,
Okay.
and until I am the best.
Oh,
period.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Hey,
I will be the best. Whether it's the best filmmaker, editor, I don't give a shit, bro. I just care about outworking people and being the best. And
I like
making the
that.
most money too. I want to be.
That's jujitsu
I want-
talking
yeah.
right there too.
I want to have a goddamn island in the mansion, bro.
Oh
you know?
shit. Okay.
Yeah, and then like I want to do
As
all
long as
types
I
of
can
shit like
come
that.
and hang
Oh,
out,
an
I'm
open
hanging
invite. You
Oh,
get your own
let's
room, bro. You get your own.
go.
Maybe you
Let's
get your own house. You know
Oh
what?
shit! All right, I want to be
Podcast
part of
studios,
this
bro.
shit. Yeah, let's fucking
Yeah,
go. I'll
yeah.
run.
We're going all
run a
out. We're going all
podcast.
out.
Fuck
You know what? We're gonna. I mean, there's a lot of big things, bro. We're trying to work with the whole team, man. The goal is to
Put
put everyone in
on.
a position, man, where
Yeah.
we're all fucking winning.
I feel you.
You know,
dude. I
that's
feel
the
you.
goal.
All right,
Um,
dude. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
thank
I
you,
really
brother.
Appreciate it, dude.
Excited to be here, man.
Until next time, man.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Peace out,
All right, man.
everybody.
Thank you all for listening.
Thanks.